1.2 Factoring Polynomials, Trinomials. Okay, so this unit is going to do a lot of factoring. That's what it's focusing on, and factoring is not something new. This is something you have done numerous times in other courses. But I will give a quick refresh on how to factor in case it's something that you're not familiar with. If you have a different way to factor, I want you to do that way. If you have a faster way or whatever, factor how you know how to factor. That's totally fine. I'm going to give these strategies so that if you have no strategies, you can at least come back to this. So we have these steps on how to factor. Trust me, the more you do this, you won't need to memorize those steps. You'll just do them naturally. Hopefully, but you do need to be very proficient in factoring for this entire course, so make sure this is something you have down. If you need a slower and more in-depth look at factoring, you can go back and look at videos from previous courses. There's one in Foundations 10 and there's one in Pre-Cal 20 as well, so you can do that if you're really struggling with the factoring, but you do need to know how to do this. So let's get through some examples. So our first one, I'm going to show all of the steps on how to do this. You do not ever have to show the steps for this. You can just go right into factored form, and that is totally fine. But I'm going to show the steps so that you at least know what we're doing. So first we're going to go through and we're just going to decide what A, B, C, and AC are. So in this one, our A value is, remember that our A value goes in front of your squared term. Your B value goes in front of your not squared term, and your C value is your constant at the end. So our A value is 1, our B value is -8, our C value is -3, and A times C is -33. So we want to find two numbers that add up to get our B value, so -8, and multiply to get our AC value, which is -33. And the numbers that you should get are -11 and 3. Next thing you're going to check to see if A is 1. If it is, then you can go right into the brackets. So it would be x minus 11, x plus 3, and then it is factored. Okay, next one. Our A value is 1, our B value is 7, our C value is 10, and our AC value is also 10. So we have two numbers that add up to make B and multiply to make AC, which is 10. Our numbers are 5 and 2. Next we check to see if A is 1. It is, so we can go right to the brackets, so x plus 5, x plus 2. Okay, next ones. When you find that your A value is not 1, check to make sure you have a common factor. If there is not 1, then continue on. So A is 6, B is -1, C is -2, and AC is 6 times -2, so -12. So I want two numbers that add up to make B, which is -1, and multiply to make AC, which is -12. So our numbers, -4 and +3. Now we check to see if A is 1. It is not. We cannot skip the steps. So our steps, I'm going to write my polynomial out again, or my trinomial. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to rewrite your middle term. So instead of writing -x, we're going to write -4x plus 3x, the numbers we just found. Because -4 plus 3 still makes -x, so we didn't really change anything. Then you're going to split it into two groups and take out a common factor. So the common factor in the first group is 2x. The common factor in the second group is nothing, so it's 1. Now I'm going to factor out a 2x. So I have 2x, which will change this into 3x minus 2. Then I'm going to write plus 1 for my second one, and then I'm going to divide that out to get 3x minus 2. I can tell that I've done this right because my brackets are the same. So my final step would be to take out a 3x minus 2. So we divide out a 3x minus 2, and we're left with 3x minus 2 and 2x plus 1. And now it is factored. Alright, last one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check to see if there's a common factor, or I use red. Green. There is. We can take out a 2. You cannot just get rid of it. It is still there. So we have 2, 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. Now we want to find two numbers that add up to make our middle term, which is 11, and multiply to make our a times c, so 6 times 4, which is 24. Our numbers are going to be 8 and 3. So don't forget the 2. Now we're going to break up this middle term. So we have 6x squared plus 8x plus 3x plus 4. Now I'm going to split it into two groups. The common thing in the first group is a 2x. The common thing in the second group is nothing, so it's a 1. So we have 2 bracket, I'm not going to have space if I do that, 2 bracket. So we have 2x. Inside the brackets we'll have 3x plus 4 plus 1, 3x plus 4. I know I did this right because my brackets are the same, so our final step is to take out the 3x plus 4. So we have 3x plus 4 times 2x plus 1, and now that is factored. So again, if you're unfamiliar with these steps, go watch more videos on this. Okay, some more tricks in factoring. This is the easiest way to factor, and everyone always forgets how to do it. It's called the difference of squares. So what it means is you have a squared term, something that's square, subtract something else that's square. So for the first one, we have a square term and we have another square term. So the way that you do it is you do two brackets, one with a plus, one with a minus. Square root the first number, so the square root of 25 is 5, it goes there. The square root of 36x squared is 6x, it goes there. And that's it. Next one, two brackets, one with a plus, one with a minus. Square root of 81m squared is 9m. Square root of 49 is 7. Done. It's like magic, but it's math magic. Oh my god, just ignore that. One with a plus, one with a minus. The square root of x to the power of 4 is x to the power of 2. You always just half that number. And 16y squared is 4y. So again, very easy to factor them. You might just glance over it and not remember how to do it though. Okay, one more trick is a perfect square trinomial. So I can notice that it's a perfect square trinomial because I'm noticing that the first term and the last term are square. What you can do is you can do this little test to see if it's a perfect square. So if we do 2 times the square root of a times the square root of c, it should equal your middle term. So 2 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 49. So 2 times 7, and 2 times 2 is 4, times 7 is 28. It is a perfect square trinomial. The way that you factor this is you do one bracket, you square it. You take the square root of the first thing, so 2x, the sign from the middle, and the square root of the last term, and then you're done. So next one, let's check it. 2 times the square root of 25 times the square root of 9. So 2 times 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, times 2 is 30. So we're going to do one bracket, square it, square root the first term, 5x, sign from the middle, square root the last term, and then you're done. So it's just something you might notice. If you factor the other way, it's going to work too. You're just going to factor it down to say 5x minus 3 times 5x minus 3, which is the same thing. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Bye.